In 2020, the Ireland Chair of Poetry and UCD Press published Hold Open the Door, a commemorative anthology from the Ireland Chair of Poetry. As a UCD alumnus, it was a great pleasure for me to be part of that book, and what we were asked to do is we were supposed to not only contribute a piece of writing that was inspired by an Irish writer, but also to comment on our work. And with your indulgence, I'll read a few lines from my comment. In Elegy for the Steelworkers, I draw on the work of Francis Harvey, particularly on some poems from his 1978 collection In the Light on the Stones. In many of his poems, Harvey describes the hardship in life in Donegal, between granite hills and the Atlantic, and the old and dwindling jobs there like that of the drover or the cowherd. He writes with a sober voice and with a grounded distance to his objects. There is a compassionate practicality in his words, and it strikes a chord with me as an analytic philosopher. And that's probably why I find myself returning to Harvey to seek inspiration for my own writing. I come from a rural background, from Saarland, the smallest state of Germany, which is shaped not only by agriculture, but also by coal mines and steel plants. Before I came to UCD, I was working there as a steel worker over the summers. And in this particular poem, I drew on Harvey's Elegy for the Islanders, Condi, and Elegy for a Robin, from which the last line of my poem is taken. Elegy for the Steelworkers, after Francis Harvey. White burning fire snakes hiss out of the darkness into the half-gloom of the rolling mill. The workers barely blink. Dark fumes hang under a concrete factory ceiling. Smell of sinter, steel dust and sweat evaporates. On slow shifts they swap trivia, toil, wait for the changeover. Drink and smoke harden them, and when they talk it is harsh, with a coarse humour about those who went through the factory gate, those on whom the umbrage of the hillsides fell. Their hardship is penned in heat and shadow. Some hardly live to see their pension, and on their deathbed remember the line, someone engraved on a dirty girder. Only the dead are out of their element.